Welcome back to BVarsity Live. Zach Ewing and Trevor Horn visiting with Nick Papagni from thepagmeter.com. Check it out, all of his rankings for all the various sports all year long. Boys tennis semifinals are today, most of them anyway, and we're probably lucky that actually none of the Bakersfield teams are hosting those things because it's kind of nasty and dusty and windy outside right now.
And Tehachapi had already moved theirs to Monday afternoon.
And they've actually
anyway,
now moved it to next Tuesday.
Because all of them are going to be played next Tuesday. So it's one of those things where the weather didn't even factor into any teams here in the Central, in Kern County.
So Stockdale, I believe, going up to face top-seeded Clovis West in the D1 semifinals.
Correct.
And it's Bullard and Clovis North in the other D1 boys tennis semifinal. So Nick, getting back to the Diamond, let's talk some softball in Division I. It seems like it's the Central Grizzlies show right now.
Yeah, it is. Well, real fast about tennis. I'm about 5 minutes away from Clovis West, and it's raining hard.
Oh, well.
At least the courts will be clean.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. We need some rain to clean up the dust down here right now. That's all we've got.
And that's the old neighborhood of our director, John Farron, who was a Clovis West grad.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly right now. We got hail all over the place.
So we may not have any tennis played in the Central section today then.
Yeah.
We'll see how that
might be delayed. Who knows?
How the weather clears up.
So Nick, kind of go through it. It's, Central's probably the number one team there. Max Preps has then number two behind Clovis, but that's a little hard to see just because they've played such a great schedule. Buchanan, Hanford West, and then Centennial, kind of the top five. Where do you rank them in the top five in D1?
Well, I think tomorrow night's a big one for me. Clovis, see, if you win the track, you get extra bonus points with me. Clovis plays Clovis West tomorrow night. If Clovis beats Clovis West, to me, they're the track champs. I'm going to give them the number one seed. Central, but see, here's the thing. Central's beaten Buchanan and Clovis 2 out of 3, so I got them number 2. So I got Buchanan 3. Don't leave out the Bullard Knights. I got Bullard 4, Hanford West 5, Centennial 6. Centennial can easily go to number 4 because they're going to be the defending champs and, of course, winning the SWYL. So the top 6 teams are going to be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, Centennial last year, of course, was undefeated in the SWYL, and they were seeded, I think, number 5 in large part due to what was a 4-inning loss at the Buchanan tournament to Clovis West, I think. And it was one of those deals where it was a 1-0 game in 4 innings. That's only half a game, but it counts on the schedule, so it counts on the seeding. So that might have been the best 5th-seeded team I've ever seen. I mean, they really rolled through that tournament.
And you bring back
softball's a whole other world. Don't get me started about these tournaments where they play 4 innings and no one even bats an eye. You lose 1-0 on a big game and they don't even care. I don't get it. Don't get me started.
And it's the same way in tennis, actually. Some of these tournaments have 6-match formats, and the teams will tie 3-3, and they'll use number of sets won as a tiebreaker, and they'll seed an entire bracket based on that. And that's not the format they're playing. What's the point?
Let's go ahead and head over to D2 softball. If John, you could throw that one up for us. Nick, how do you feel about this? Redwood, El Diamante, Sanger, Madera, Ridgeview, 1 through 5, and that Ridgeview team has the longest. a 54-game win streak in the league going now.
Yeah, Ridgeview, I think you're pretty much nailed it. I've got Sanger or El Diamante at the 2 or 3 because Sanger's been playing awfully tough. El Diamante got lost yesterday, Hanford West. They got beat up pretty bad by Redwood. So that can go 2 or 3, but you nailed that one.
Okay. D3. Here's kind of a toss-up one. You got a team like Taft who is just annihilating everybody else in their league. Where do you kind of rank D3 there?
I got Taft 1 easily, and then it's Liberty, Madera Ranchos 2, Dinuba 3, Tehachapi 4, and then Sunnyside Independence 5 and 6.
Okay. Nick, give me a comparison for Taft softball, a small school that has been so dominant. Just crushing the league. They're winning 25-30 to nothing every night. What's a comparison in another sport, a Valley team that's done that?
Oof. You probably go back to maybe the 70s, maybe with San Joaquin Memorial Basketball when they had the Pondexters or something like that. They just dominate. This is why I'd like to see. Don't you think Taft could easily compete in Division I? They moved Hanford West up. I would like to see each year the CIF look at, instead of every 2 years, each year, then say, hey, Taft, you know what's going to be loaded this year? Let's move them up and have some fun with them. I don't think they're having any fun in Division III. They're just smoking teams.
Yeah, you're probably right, although Liberty Madera has given them good games the past couple of years, so that could get interesting.
They really have, and I think Liberty's gearing up for Taft, but they got to go after Dinuber Tehachapi first.
Sure.
Yep. All right.
I guess we're set to go. Then we don't have D4. Why don't you give us a quick rundown on D4 softball, Nick?
D4, let's go to D4. I've got Selma, who's 24-1 at number 1. Wasco, number 2.
Okay.
Fowler's on fire, number 3. Mission Oaks, 4. And Madera South, 5.
All right, so we got a potential Wasco good softball program. And news, of course, starting in 2017, the softball finals will all be going to one site. Or at least it sounds like that, and volleyball is going to go to one site. This is something you and I have been talking about for years, Nick, and the Central Section finally starting to go to these one-site championships. I'm sure you like that.
I like it. I just want to make sure it's in the right stadium for everything, so everyone's happy. So I hear a lot of the coaches in baseball, they're not real happy with the rawhide, and I would like to see a little bigger stadium so people can enjoy it, where they can sit there and watch baseball all day instead of shooing everyone in and out. Softball would be great at Biden Field or at Bulldog Diamond out there to watch, but we'll see. And now I polled a lot of people for softball, and it's like 80%. No one wants to do that. They want to have their home field advantage.
Interesting.
So softball's a little different than anybody else.
Well, Nick, we appreciate it, and we'll be seeing you down the road as the postseason gets going here. Thanks for being on.
You got it, guys. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Nick. That's Nick Papagni.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
Thepagmeter.com is his website where you can see all his rankings and predictions. He's already got football rankings up if you're into that. Speaking of football, you want to show some All-Star Bowl highlights?
Yeah, we got about a 4-minute package of highlights that with a little bit of audio of yourself and the Dominator Lewis Amos story. So, John, if we want to go ahead and run those.
He will be the man in motion for the 4th time out of 4. They go the other direction on a drag route, and holding onto the ball for the touchdown is Zach Balfans. Number 7 is going to hold, and it is Julio Galvan of Kennedy, the left-footed kicker, with the field goal try, and it is just wide right. Now, remember, this can be returned. Isaiah Sharp has it. He gets a block, and he may go. He's at midfield with one man to beat, and he is going to go all the way. It's Isaiah Sharp. And you know he wanted to do that earlier.
So this was 2 Fridays ago at the All-Star Bowl. You're looking at some highlights that Trevor put together.
And there might be the best stiff arm in Kern County with Lemicio Hill.
He has a mean one.
14-0 Black squad. Wiley back to pass.
And then this is the one thing I love about arena football is when you get guys like offensive linemen like Dylan Guillermo at a BC or BHS catching a touchdown. And I don't know what that is, man. I mean, you were there the whole time. And here's Jordan Wiley, the tall, lanky quarterback from Independence. He had a fun, interesting game. So that's a lot of fun for those guys. Obviously, a few guys got hurt. Mason Saba, 1 or 2 guys that really had a good night on defense from Centennial there with his first interception. And then, was this the most fun? Was this the best play of the game?
There's so many candidates in an All-Star Bowl game, but Sharp to Crony is pretty good, especially after Isaiah had to do the shake and bake in the backfield. But those are, what do they call themselves? Team Yut Yut?
Yeah, the Sexy Six.
Oh, well, I was going with the other nickname.
Yeah, I know. So there's a nice sack there by another G-Hawk, Mason Grants. So. Is this something that you want to see continuing year in and year out, Zach?
I'm pretty ambivalent about All-Star games in general. I think this is a fun one. I think the kids love it. I think people love it. It makes money. It makes some money for charity and scholarships and stuff. Why not? I mean, yeah, I know there were some injuries on this particular night, but that happens in any All-Star game. That's what people don't seem to understand is that the carpet – okay, you get some rug burden from it, but the carpet did not cause any of those injuries.
Right.
Those could have happened in an outdoor football game. And here's Mason
another
Saba again, and I think this is the one where he goes into the crowd to take a
celebratory
selfie.
And what's really funny is you'll see when he gets up in the crowd in the gray shirt, that's Connor Bruce from Garces, who gets up there and actually threw that up on Twitter on his Twitter account, that selfie. So I thought that was really fun that we saw that on the air. And then he was able to actually get that photo up on the social media. And there's that's that right there. That's R.J. Oliver from his high school quarterback, Brandon Jones. So it looks like we lost sound on a lot of this. So Wiley intercepted by Stavros Katsantonis. Stavros had 3 interceptions there and had a 4th, but he was called back, and all in the second half. Is that right, Zach?
Right. It would have been 4 in the second half. He was called for pass interference on the 4th one. He's something else. He's just a gamer. I mean, you look at him and you don't think, that's not a Division I player. That's not this. he plays like a Division I player, though. He just makes plays. And speaking of making plays, the Black Squad really got after it in the second half. This was a close game at halftime after that Saba pick six.
It's 27-20, is that right? 27-18? Something
Yeah, I think 27-20 at halftime. There's another Stavros interception. The two number ones on the Black Squad, Crony and Katsantonis, were really the stars.
Okay. And then that's the fun part about Arena is being able to tip it off the back of the end zone wall for a touchdown, which Crony did.
Yeah.
And I think we need to go back to this.
Well, that's a good way to wrap it.
Yeah, we really do care about Sheldon Crony as an individual, and we hope that he has a quick and speedy recovery. This is one of those things where we do not enjoy reporting this, but it's one of those things that we do have to report. And, hopefully he recovers from this, learns from it, whatever the situation may be. But it's one of those situations where, good luck, Sheldon. You're in our corner.
Hey, you've kind of been on a high wire all week covering this story. I can tell you don't like that stuff.
I don't. I really don't. It's not fun. I mean, they're still high school kids. Even though he is technically an adult because he is 18 years old.
Oh, but look, I mean, this is it. He is a star football player. He is in the news, and it's a big deal that it happened, and that's why it is being reported, and that's why
that is correct.
That's why we're where we're at with it. And so, if you did not hear the beginning of the show, Trevor has done the legwork on this, the reporting, and Sheldon Crony accidentally shot himself in the left hand at someone else's house. We think, according to the police report. Don't have a whole lot of details about his condition. It does sound like he's doing okay if you just listen to social media and what people are saying, but that doesn't. We don't have any official update on how Sheldon's doing, so we do wish him the best.
But if we do get any information, whether it be the family from school district, Ridgeview, friends and family, if we can get something on record, we will continue to report this on his condition, how he's doing. So
tennis semifinal supposed to be today. We don't know about the weather. Baseball, softball seating is coming Saturday. Golf section championships Tuesday.
And then it sounds like a lot of SYL baseball will be, and then we have swimming SWYL championships on Sunday, and then the individual area tennis on Saturday also.
That's right. It is a fun time of year here at BVarsity, and we'll be back with you right here at the Californian next Thursday at 2 o'clock. For Trevor Horn, for our producers Chris McCullough and John Farron, I'm Zach Ewing. This has been BVarsity Live.